Hey everybody, Engineer Coffee. Welcome back to Mars. Last episode we started on this gantry crane. We got quite a bit done. We actually got two axes of movement there. We got a festoon there to power it. Now we just need to work on the lift portion to get the container off and put it down into the cargo bay. Alright, a few things off camera. I redid the road plates here. Just put some stripes and things so the trucks know when they're coming up to here. This is where the crane is. And then you got the crane line with these yellow bits. Just to give a little bit of caution, I think it turned out all right. It was a lot of plate, so not terribly exciting to watch. All right, I did put up some caution signs. I got the hazardous environment, and then the arrows that are showing where it's going. It's up there on that bridge as well. And then up here on the bridge, I have been working. I've tried quite a few different iterations. These wheels like to slip off the half block. Like, even though they're there, they like to fall off sometimes if the alignment is not perfect. Like, I probably shouldn't have done that, but now that the festoons are in here and clamping on there so well, I really don't want to redo it. In theory, this probably would have been better to have like blast doors or something hanging out like this, like here, instead to ride on. That probably would have been better. Yeah, that would have been really nice because it would have ridden in there really easily, but I wouldn't have the festooning that I have now. So what I did, I went ahead and put this grill grate up here all the way along, and then these wheels so they're riding along and helping push it in, and so far it's been good. So yeah, for the most part it's pretty smooth now. It's a little bit slower. I need to work on kind of the friction and tension of it because this is a little bit slower going back, but it seems to work better. I did put in different stops in here. So down here it's got this stop to stop against the actual hard plate, because we had stuff up here that was hitting the tires, and I think that was part of the problem. Is the tires were hitting weird and then it would kind of jostle it off course. So I put those stops here instead. I think that works a lot better. So far it's doing okay. Because what I really noticed is driving was fine back and forth until I got into this lower cab here and started driving the other direction, that it was jostling things. Yeah, this seems to be holding it on a lot tighter. I'm not seeing the jostling there was before. So that's good. I hope this will work. We'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, there we go. Still driving. All right, then the other thing I did is I put some solar panels up here, so hopefully we can get some charge on it when the sun is a little bit higher, and charge this gantry crane that we don't have to charge it by the base very often, or inevitably when I leave it and forget to plug it in, it won't be completely dead. That's the hope anyway. Let's see, I also put some spotlights on here. It looks pretty good at night, so you can actually light up the road. I think that turned out really well. So I think we are pretty much done with the structure of it. We just need to work on the lifting of the boxes here. So I guess we'll probably just start with some blocks. We don't want to go that close, right? Yeah, no, we can't get away with that. And I put some wheels in my own way here, but maybe this will work. Yeah, there we go. We can go up that high, and then, yeah, we can get another layer on top of that. Maybe here we do an end block. That might be a little weird. Well, we know at least we want the beam to go across. I don't know exactly how to make it look yet. It does get away from the wheel, though. And that's nice. You know what? I'm gonna go with it. I think it looks fine. We're gonna go with that. Okay, there we go. Now we can get rid of this mistakes. Okay, there's kind of a structure. I really regret putting the wheels on the outside. I probably should have come up with an inside track system, because I've got all this stuff and then I come in and then I come in even more. It's getting narrower and narrower as we go. I mean, I guess I could always widen it back out how it was. We'll see how this goes. I guess we need a rotor. Do we want the rotor? No, I guess we want the rotor on the bottom. I was thinking of having the rotor up here on the top, but with the crane coming up and down and being a rectangle now that we're not really a square, I don't want that portion to spin. I guess I just want the head of that to spin. I'm thinking we're gonna still do our like hinge system that we normally do. I was trying to think of like a chain or a rope or something that we could do. I watched Pandemic Playground's rope that he did with these and wound it up around a rotor, And it worked really well for the first bit, and then it started getting a little clangy and grinding on itself, and blocks were like interfering with each other. So I don't think that's going to be the answer, because I was thinking you could have like a chain on either side, but if they're not going to be even and they're not going to act the same physics, I don't think that's really worth it. So I think we'll just do our normal scissor lift style thing that we do. I think that'll be better. Okay, where is the center line? Okay, that is the center line there, so let's cut it here and get a T in there. And then another T right here. And apologies for my voice again this week. This thing is just persistent. Like, I feel alright, but my voice does not sound like it. Yeah, so we have a grip that goes on to these portions. We don't necessarily have to. We could actually grip all the way out here if we want it to look a little bit bigger. But maybe not. We do want a rotor on here, so we're going to have some type of hook with a rotor on it. Do we want a tiny rotor or a big 3x3? Because like the head could either have that one, or we could use a big boy like this, and then we could put, well, I was going to say we could put the big mag plate on it, but it's got a tiny connection on it anyway. Where are my landing gear? That's what I'm trying to do. That's got a small connection on it anyway, so we could do something like that. I guess we'll have the small rotor on that. Do we want to pick it up with that, or do we want to do more of the hook that we're used to, that it hooks onto there and that platform? Thinking that's what we'll do. Alright, let's cut this in the middle, just so we can get some detail in here. Alright, let's see. On the other bridge crane I had 4 of these, really, was all it was, but I think we can go bigger. Let's at least do 6. And then we might add like another section onto it. Let's see. Yes. Yes. And then we'll do more hinges here. Went the wrong direction, didn't I? Let's see. I had negative pointing towards the outside, so now they're going to point towards the inside, towards each other. There we go. Yeah, I think that's going to be enough. We can drop that straight down into the hole here. With the pistons extended, that's going to be just fine. And then this gets a block. Maybe this? Thinking maybe that, because then we could put a rotor on here. I don't know if I love the blast door idea here, but it works. Now, we need to get a hinge part on there. And I guess we can always change it out later. We'll have to break everything to do it, but that's alright. Think we can get lucky and actually attach this? Nah, I didn't think so either. Alright, well I guess I will tediously weld all of this stuff up. Alright, I might not have to be that tedious. I might be able to just get in here with the lobster and get it welded up. We might have to come in for 2 angles, but we'll get what we can. Yeah, there we go. Number 8. Alright, now we'll just come in from this direction. That'll be good. We can get it all. Let's see, all of these have an upper limit of 0 and a lower limit of -90. We're going to give them a positive velocity of, I don't know, 5 for now. That should align everything up that we can attach it. You stop swinging. We need to do a shear inertial tensors. That's what we need to do. It really does not want to attach that thing. I have a feeling it's the hinge in the way or something. Let's try this again. Okay, that's really weird. It will not attach. Let's grind you down, maybe? Let's rebuild you. There we go. Just didn't like that first one, apparently. Let's see, we're connected there. Now we can take this out and put the hinge. Or not the hinge, the rotor. They're fighting each other right now for some reason. I don't quite understand. You're at -2, that's why. There we go. Forgot to reset that one weird. Okay, perfectly stable now. Now, if I find those hinges... Can I get a good view from the cockpit here? Not really. There? Alright, just to make sure that they're on the same speed, let's go ahead and set it. Okay, that's way too fast. How we doing? Ooh, that's really tight. It kind of hit, didn't it? Let's make a group of those. Yeah, that's hitting the frame every time. That's unfortunate. Alright, that is way more support structure than we ever need, but it's in there. That's fine. Now, I guess we'll put on group here. Reverse. There we go. Now we're not getting a conflict. Good. Good, 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 good. Alright, the hook's on there. Let me get this guy welded up. Wow, I actually had parts for that. I don't have an interior plate, though. Yeah, that's probably close to where the cab needs to be. Guess it's not going to be plumbed at all. We don't have any actual plumbing in the festoons. I used normal rotors. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have piped it so we actually had oxygen into our cab. That would have been the smart play. But then I'd have to like plumb it into somewhere over here. That's fine. Alright, so I think hinge locks are broken on my world. So I tried to turn on and off the hinges. That doesn't work because obviously the hinges just turn off and then they drop. If I turn hinge lock on and off and I go, it does absolutely nothing. It's on. I can't move it when it's locked down. But it doesn't stop it mid-movement. Alright, there we go. Negative 40 did it. At least to get the lock on. Probably should go a little bit more. Maybe negative 39. Okay, now let's disconnect the cargo box. Let's see. Detach, number 5. There we go. Is the connector on? Connector's on. Let's not do that. And then your strength is, yeah, disabled. Okay. And then we lift the box up. Oh, it does spin around that way. I guess if I spin it the right direction, we're fine. No, it's still going to hit at the end here, right? Ooh, it's close. Okay, well I have to spin that guy exact, or we'll just move him back, that he's going to be kind of towards the back, which might be the better thing to do anyway, because now that I'm like sitting in the cab. Oh, that's not the worst. Alright, now we drive it forward. Clears the beam, that's great. We're not aligned sideways. We're definitely going to have to come up with something like a thruster override thing, like we'll put an Atmo thruster on the cab. So when we go side to side, the thrusters will register with an event controller to move these wheels. We'll program that. Okay, we need some lights or something to align us, make sure we're sideways, because once the container is on there, maybe we can put like a sensor wall here that'll tell us if we're too far to the side, that we're going to run into the door. That'd be alright. And then in theory, this guy gets lowered down, which we are not aligned very well that direction. If I come to the stop... Alright, that's pretty sweet. Got a box aligned with the door hole. I mean, there's nothing here, obviously. It just opens up into literal dirt right now, but we'll have something down there for this cargo to go into. Nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, then we'll raise it up. Rotate him around and we can still go back. We're not going to have any conflicts there, are we? No, and it doesn't hit the festooning. That's good. A little bit of clang here and there. Alright, there we go. I think that's what we need for the mechanics of it. We got the lift hook there. We've got negative 39 degrees to pick up the container from the truck, so we've got that limit. We'll have to figure out what our other limits are once we actually build a room below these doors here. Alright, well I was laying things out and apparently I wasn't recording, so I'm recording now. So we're going to start working on the hole for the rocket. So we're going to drop cargo containers down into here. We're going to have a rotor where this block is, down underneath the ground, that will have this unit on here, this cargo unit, that will round robin on here, so it'll get loaded with cargo and it'll clock itself 90 degrees and get all of the cargo on, and then that will get pushed onto the rocket. So it'll get all loaded up and then loaded onto the rocket. I think that's going to be the better option, because then this guy can, you know, load up, clock around, there can be multiple truck deliveries while the other bays and stuff are working and getting the rocket ready. So I think that's going to be good. And then we shortened up the hole a little bit. I think the skeleton that we had over here earlier was like 3 long here, and then there was 3 angles. So now it's 3 long still, but only 2 angles, which would put the center line right here, so our rocket is just slightly off. But even right here, we're still within limits. So we're going to have 1 block extra on each side. That should be plenty to get extra little bits, or maybe a turret, or whatever we put on each module. That should be totally fine. So now I'm just skeleting out the rest of the tube here. These are the blocks that I was looking for, was these half blocks. Hopefully we can get these guys in. All right, we got the langoustine here that we could dig the hole. What do we want to do with the rocket? Like, I feel like I still want it. Maybe we can move it. Maybe we can haul him somewhere. We've got a block up here that we could grab onto. I think we can maybe move it. Let's try it. Langostine also has a mag plate on the bottom of him, so we'll use that. You might have enough lifting power. It's not like any of this is welded, but I think it retains all of its mass even if it's not welded, right? Okay, that sounds fun. Just go ahead and cut it loose.
Inventory full.
Alright, where are you going? Why are you tipping? Just feel like it? Apparently you just feel like it, because he's got enough thrust. Oh, there we go. Let's go ahead and just unlock that. Oh. Oh, it settled out. We're alright. Alright, we'll count that as a win. At least we still have it for a reference. Alright, Mighty Morphin welding time. Oh yeah, I forgot I have a mix of metal and concrete. We'll have to figure that out. And apparently white, for no reason. Alright, this is a bit of a sideways driller, but hopefully we can get some stuff cleared out. Alright, how much can we tip before we start gliding down? Oh, actually we can go quite a bit. Alright, am I overbuilding this? That's pretty deep just for that. I mean, that rocket's gonna go all the way down there plus some. Probably am over-designing this because we gotta have an elevator to push it back up, so... could we get away with 5? Then how tall is this one? 1, 2, 3 is all that one is. Yeah, that one's only 3 tall for that unit. And this one is 5 tall. Do we want to make that one 5 tall? Does it have to be? I mean, I guess this one could be a little bit deeper. It could just be a floor down. But really, once we get that base on there, it should be solid on its own. And maybe that one is assembled at the bottom, because that's always going to be the base. So maybe that one's assembled, like, on the elevator, and never actually, like, gets pushed out sideways. I think that's the way to do it. And maybe we can push these guys on sideways. The rockets on the side. That'll be okay. Alright, how far do we need to go? I feel like I gotta be getting close. Well, I was close. I was real close. Alright, that block is not the center line. This is the center line one. That is level. Oh, I'm probably gonna regret building all this stuff underground because of how much digging and clearing and excavating and all that stuff I'm gonna have to do. That's alright. This is the life I chose. Let's see. Well, we don't have any voxel deformation up here, so that's a good sign. We should be able to get this block right here connected in the middle. There we go. Now we got it connected underneath. Now we technically don't need those, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it just in case I mess up in the tunnel, which is something I would do. Let's land you and not waste all the battery for no reason, just hovering there. Alright, we need to get the crane over here and see how deep we can get that lift. That looks... that's centered-ish. Close enough, we're not putting a container on it, we're just going to drop the hook in, see what it looks like. Need to get up there. Hey, it's still driving, that's a good sign. Alright, rotate to angle -90 at a speed of 2. That'll get it back up to the upper position. Rotate to angle -39 at a speed of 2. That'll get us to our cargo container. Alright, then we'll do a 0 degree. Might not do it 0 degree. It definitely looks uglier when it doesn't have this scissor, if it's just a stick, but that's alright. We might do it. We might need it. I rotate to angle 0, speed of 2. Alright, we'll put the rotor and the mag locks over here, just so we leave us some space in case we need something else in here. So now, if I rotate to 0, okay, that works. -90, that works. -39, that'll be where we pick up the cargo container on the truck. Extend it out fully. Doesn't get us much more range, but now we've got this. That's really fast. How's that? That's better. But are we going to hit the ground, or we're not going to get far enough down? Feel like it's going to stop. Ooh. It barely stopped. Okay. That's the range that we've got on there, is all. That's not... it's not a lot of depth. Alright, what is this block? Like 1 block tall? Yeah, it is. It's exactly 1 block tall. It's 5 tall here, which is 1 block, 1 large grid block. So... that's there. That doesn't leave us much. Okay, so, because if I have a block on the bottom here, that's going to lift that block up, then this is the part that's on the inside of the rocket, and the underbelly is what's on the outside. That's probably better, right? So we actually have like this armored portion. You don't see the collector for no reason. That's probably okay. So we could probably just have a mechanism underneath here that literally just lifts it up and smacks it onto the rocket. That would be fine. So we really only want to go like another 1, maybe 2 tall in here. Alright, you know what? I think that'll work. We'll put the block right here in this mid-level. We'll dig down 2, and then the mechanism underneath it can worry about grabbing it and tilting it onto the rocket, which will be in this area at 5 tall. And then we have to have some type of gantry crane over top that picks this guy up and moves him onto the rocket base. So yes, we'll do that. That's a good height. Alright, the lobster can fit down here. That's good. Let's get this tarmac welded up. Hopefully I've got enough material. These tarmac things are really expensive. Alright, there we go. Now we're fully welded across. Now I feel good about taking this stuff out.
Inventory full.
Really? Okay, well, I did feel good about taking that stuff out. Okay, we're getting there. We got a launch hole. We're gonna launch some ICBMs from Mars. Okay, so the cargo container is gonna come down here. I guess it'll be off. It's gonna be 4 wide, so this mechanism is gonna be a little bit funky, but that's okay. It's this guy that we need to have a rotor right here. I think I do want it exposed like this instead of like buried in the ground. We're gonna have it up because we want the rocket to be elevated a little bit anyway. So that'll be good. Alright, so we do have the connector here on the back, and then we've got these guys, but we need to have a connector on the actual rocket to be able to connect to get material from. Do we want it to be large grid connections? Because that's going to make it really large. Alright, because if we build the rocket and we put this block on here, yes, that junction, to go all the way around. How far out were we on that thing? I'm glad I didn't destroy it, because I have no memory, apparently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to that block till it actually connects. That would be the rocket base, and then we need a connector on the top of that. Probably just these ones, so it actually connects nicely. Okay, and then the cargo box is right there like that, and that is pretty much in the ceiling, which is a problem. Alright, I think I've got an idea of what we're going to do. We are going to make little rings, I guess control rings. I'm thinking like Kerbal Space Program. You have like the big fuselage, and then there's like the little mini rings that you put on. So we're going to make little mini rings like this, and maybe we'll put like the RCS thrusters and stuff in it, because it's going to have all the conveyor ports. Alright, so maybe we come out a bit like this, and we come out and put one of these on here, and we make like what they call a doghouse. And then we put the thrusters. And then this guy can stick out far enough like this that we get some RCS thrust around. And we could probably, you know, spruce it up a bit, that it's not so ugly, and actually have some armor blocks and roundness to it and stuff. But yeah, we could put little dog houses on the outside of this ring, and that'll be our RCS control. Yeah, even if we don't do another cargo module on top of it, we can still do the habitation. We'll use one of them. Doesn't necessarily have to use all 4, but it could at least use one of them for O2 and tanks or whatever else we put on there. Alright, I've been playing around with shapes. We've got this guy in the center here, because I was looking at the plumbing side of it. We don't have a 6-way connector. Okay, get out of the way. We don't have a 6-way connector. It's only going to be 4-way, so we're always going to have those small blocks on the other sides. So that's not going to really work to connect the center line. So we can have these guys come in. This is the connector here that connects onto that. And then we got a connector facing down. Obviously the spacing between this needs to be a lot larger than it is. Alright, on these connectors we've got the side ports that are small grid, and so, or a small conveyor. So we'll take a small conveyor 90, and then we'll put a connector right here. And that will connect on to whatever we want. So we can connect this up to the fuel line for these tanks. That'll be good. And then we'll also, you know, carry that on into like the living quarters and all that stuff for air supply. Because we don't need big tubes for that. So the center is pretty much going to be hollow. So I think with this guy, you know, having its 4 ports coming off like this, where's the actual conveyor? There we go. Like that guy's coming off that way and that way. The bottom here, that's where we're going to put the merge block instead. Obviously my spacing is wrong, but merge block it there, and that's what's going to connect on to the middle platform. I think that will be good. I don't know if I want this guy anyway, like these cargo containers on the inside. I was thinking about for like ice, and we have H2 generators and it's generating its own fuel. But I think with this many tanks, I want to see if we can just get to space with fuel. Like treat it like an actual rocket, that we get ice from here, we fuel it up, and hopefully it has enough fuel to reach where we want it to go. That's going to be the goal. I don't want an H2 generator on here except for life support. All right, down here I've got a plan of what we're going to do. We've got a connector here that is facing down, and that will connect onto our little control ring up at the top and the bottom. Let's see, I got one right here as well. So this will connect up to the top. I'm going to replace these guys right here. That's why I got that scaffolding. This guy will all get replaced with conveyors. So then these little rotors right here are going to connect onto our cargo boxes. I don't know if I showed this. I'm like missing footage. I thought I was recording the whole time and I wasn't. We're putting these little pegs on here, and that is what is going to hold the cargo container on. The pin could be here or the pin could be here, you know, depending on if the cargo box is loaded the right direction or the truck drives in from another way. So I've got these two pins here that will lock on with rotors that will attach those pins to make it one grid. So we're not just relying on landing gear. I actually looked at this, that's wrong. This actually needs to be one down. It needs to be conveyor, then the corner. Okay, well that solves that, and I guess we gotta figure out what we want to do in the center, because we could do whatever we want, I guess. I guess I could put extended fuel tanks in there, or more cargo, like solid cargo. Feeling like more tanks would be nice, right? Maybe I could put 2 more tanks in there like that. Okay, yep, I like that. We're gonna have fuel in the center. That makes me happy. Okay, let me grind this off. Let's get an actual design here, and we'll get something welded up. And hopefully it'll make sense instead of just being this terrible wireframe. I'm sure somebody's looking at this like, what in the hell are you even showing? Now, what I'm thinking is I'm going to go ahead and rotor this guy really slowly. Yeah, that'll work. And then we're going to grab the lobster and we're going to weld it up as it spins around. And I think that'll be easier than trying to rotate the lobster around. So hopefully this works well and we don't break anything. Well, I guess I could have rotated faster. This is welding up a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. That's alright. We'll get it. Let's turn off the welders and let's get this... do I have a place to park it? Actually, let's be smarter about this. Yeah, we can get another row, maybe? Let's do these. I don't know where the thrusters land. Yeah, look at me being smart. Half blocks, that's where it's at. Except for I should flip them around so we can actually get to the cargo. Look at me being half smart. Okay, there we go. Now we have cargo access instead of flying out of the hole every time. Okay, I think I fixed it. It has to come in one. I don't know what I was thinking. This is where the block attaches, but the cargo container is actually in one after that. Alright, I think I've got all the skeleton structure done, hopefully. Did I get all the legs? Yes, looks like it. Oh, and of course, that's the side I already did. I should have spun it the other direction. Oh well. Waiting game again. Okay, I think we're good. Nice. I think that's a pretty good module. It looks very skeletal, but it's kind of supposed to, right? By the time we get the cargo containers on here, I think it'll really fill in. Okay, I like that. I think that's going to be a great little module. And then we've got this guy to come down here. And then we've got enough room to tilt it up and put it onto the block. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. We'll have to come up with that mechanism. I'm kind of running out of time though, so I think what I want to work on is that ring that I've been talking about to connect up to here. So let's work on that guy. Alright, so it's going to have a merge block on the bottom, and then it's going to have to go up one block at least to the connector. Did I have interior block on me? No, I do not. And then another block of something. It doesn't have to be that, obviously. And then our merge block. And that is going to be the control ring. Or connector ring, or whatever we want to call it. And then... Wow, I hope I gave myself enough space. I thought I came out here far enough, but now I'm looking at it. Okay, that works right there. Let's just weld this up. So we can actually see what we're doing. Man, some days I feel like I don't have that mod for welding brightness, because... Ooh, it's bright. Alright, there we go. That is the connection ring to go in between all of them. So now... with this guy, we need to have this connector. We need to have the small grid connectors on. All right, nice. So that will connect on to that guy, and it'll all be plumbed all the way through. And then we'll have these large connectors for the containers, so that's good. All right, well, technically this is narrower, this doorway is narrower than the hole, so we could have the ring go out more, but I feel like if we can keep it within this constraint, that will be good for the rocket size. So we'll try that. We'll only probably come out 2 more, honestly. Yeah, we just need to come out 2, not 3. I think that'll be good. Now, do I want to build here? I feel like I'm running out of space real quick. Because yeah, 2 comes out right into that block, so I really should have built this back further. You know, I might just grab it and we'll just bring it out. Because we're kind of tight quarters working around here. So, let's grab... we'll probably do it with the lobster, honestly. Let's just get a landing gear on the front of it. Hey, here's a question. How do I get this out of the hole now? I can set it down. What an idiot. Of course I can grab onto it, but I can't get it out. Is that gonna stabilize it? Yeah, it should stabilize actually, because it'll be on those ones as well. So let's unpark you. We're gonna have to grab you from the bottom to be able to get it out of the hole. My brainy works sometimes. Let's get you a little bit longer. Sure, why not that guy? Why not Zoidberg? Alright, we got it. Now we can get out of the hole. Alright, can we set this guy gently enough down? Probably. Apparently my depth perception is off. There it is. Ooh. Parking. There we go. Ooh. Dampers are off. Alright, sweet. Now we have space to work. Happy. And it's nighttime, so we're not dying of radiation, so that's a plus. Of course that looks like the sunrise. Of course that looks kind of bright over there, but sunrise comes from over there. Think we're okay? Okay, so now this guy sticks out far enough. Now we can have our side thrust here. Alright, so I'm debating here whether I do it this way or we do it this way, and I'll show you what I mean. Is this guy is the sideways one, and so then we could put on T's, like this maybe. And then we get our thrusters, which I thought I had. There they are. Do we do the industrial ones, or do we do... Yeah, probably the industrial ones. It's kind of the theme we're going with. We do these, like that. I really should have put the different conveyors on there now, though. Yeah, nope, those need to be different. Alright, then we put the junctions on here like this. Let's put these ones on there. Now, if I go back to my thrusters, we have sideways ones. We have our top and bottom. That gets us a lot of thrust up and down, which we don't necessarily need. So we only have, you know, one going sideways here, but in theory we get these guys on there. Then by the time you combine it with this one over here, it's got thrust coming sideways, and you've got all 3 of those. So you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 side thrust this way. That's not too bad, but then you've got, what, 12 going up and down? Plus you got your main thrusters. But what I was thinking of is if we do this way, where the thrust is going sideways, you have 6 going sideways here, and we omit these ones on the front here. Right, that these reaction thrusters actually just look like that, and that's it, and then we armor around that. And I think this might be the route I go, because then we can just armor panel around this. And that can be its own little doghouse thing, like here. And that'll connect back to the main grid. Yeah, probably something like that. Because then we have 6 thrust going in each direction. This guy doesn't stick out very much at all because it's got an armor panel on there. And that's really what a thruster pack is going to look like. Because in theory, all you would do is you spin your craft, and then you... have your up and down reactions. You don't really have these lateral ones very much. Unless you're trying to spin the craft on axis, but even then you're probably going to use these side thrusters. Yeah, I think I like the design of this one, where we have an actual, like, cowl on it rather than more thrusters sticking out. So let's do the other way. Really? Just finished healing up and I get struck by Deborah and it takes like 20 health off. Ugh. More than that. That was like 30 or 40. Goodness. Crazy lady. Alright, Deborah, can't get me in here. Alright, well here's something to consider. We got the access panels that will be on the cargo containers, so those need to be accounted for. They're going to be here, hanging down into this block, so we don't really want to like just block this guy up to here. So I guess probably just leaving it level here is probably the better thing to do. At least for this portion, where the connector is. Alright, that doesn't leave me enough. It only gets one little curl there. What if we take him off? And this is one of those 45s. That's gonna look better. Lisa will never understand why this is in that group of 6. It really should be in with this, shouldn't it? Like, that should get to the inverted one. It always bugs me. Ow. Okay, Storm, seriously go away. Don't like Deborah today. Okay, that's a pretty good circle, right? That feels pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. That is our base ring, I guess. Is the storm coming down or is that just wishful thinking? I can't tell. Deborah hasn't killed me in a little bit, so maybe we're on the trailing edge. Yes, it's clearing up. Okay, goodness. Oh man, building large things in small grid is certainly tedious. This is quite the ring to just build, and it's only like 2 layers. We haven't even got to the middle part. Alright, maybe we put some batteries here. I like the look of the hydro engines, but I've got to get them plugged in, which would be... Where do I got my stuff? That was on the solar panel. Let's just put it on this toolbar. So yeah, I could have those guys, but I got the plumbing back there and not right here, so I could put it up 1. Why did that switch? So I could put these up one like that and we can get it plumbed. Alright, that's looking pretty cool. I like that. Exposed pipe, little bit of greebling on with the hydrogen engines. I like it. Even if they're not on, they just look cool. Then what could we put in here? Probably these new round blocks somehow. Alright, then here we can probably carry piping in quotations. Like it's not going to actually pipe because we don't have the right angles, but we do with these rounded half slopes. That's not bad there. It doesn't really poke out and have that curve that the other one does. And I think that one looks a little bit better. Yeah, it looks a little bit more round out there. And I guess with these, we could probably just block it in, right? We just block these in, or do we need any type of greebling? I feel like it's going to be pretty boring if it's just armor, though. Or should I carry the piping, this piping, like this around both of them, and then we put something else in the middle? Yeah, I think we do that. Alright, I like that. I think that looks pretty good. We actually don't even need this. This is a T here, so maybe we just do a solid block. So we actually get the paint ring around it. Yeah, we could probably do that. Let's just get rid of these, and we'll put in 90s. Alright, I like that. That is really cool. There is our ring. Let's see, I'm looking at the top side here, and we'll do it on the bottom side as well, obviously, but we can probably put something like this. No, we can't. There isn't a block that's going to fit there, right? We'd have to do something funky like that. Okay, I think we have the blocks. That looks a little funky, doesn't it? It like dives in and then dives back out. I don't think we have one that's completely like this, though. That's about as good as we're going to get a half block. And then here I don't have anything, right? Oh, and then here there's actually nothing. No, I can't get that block at all. Okay, well, never mind on that one. I was thinking we could bring it in a half cowl here, just so it's not going to stick with the merge block, but we still have some depth to it.
Inventory full.
Inventory full. Maybe we do it just here. Maybe we bring it in a ring, like this. We could get away with that, right? Alright, well that's not terrible. This little corner here is still weird, but there's nothing we can do to get around that. So that would allow the access panels to go right there, and that's fine. And then it gives a little bit of detail around. This is going to be where the control ring, that's where that ring is going to be, this guy down here, which doesn't really have any attachments or any structure around it, so we're good there. On the inside here, we can definitely do something different. We could cover it all in, or we leave the ring exposed like this. I mean, a lot of times you see in spaceflight, they detach the rings and you see all of the innards in here. Like, I mean, I guess we could do like electronics or batteries or something on the inside here. Maybe parachutes would be a good idea. Alright, there we go. I like it. That's gonna work. We'll just make a ring around the inside here. This will all be, you know, open like that. It'll be like a little mini circular space station thing. I like it. I feel like that's sticking out a bit much though. Now that I like zoom out, it makes that corner awfully square. So maybe we just flip that. Yes, that is the way. That's the way right there. Okay, we have a plan and a ring. Well, we actually have some room in here. I might put a battery or two. I think might be good. Where is our power? There we go. It has batteries, right? No. No, it does not. Batteries are their own category. Right there. Okay, I like this a lot. We've got some batteries on the inside. We've got a shell around all of this stuff. I might have to, like, prop this up to get the underside. I guess I can just put it on stilts. That's easy enough. Alright, really for the sake of a screenshot, I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy attached onto the ring. We'll see what it looks like. Actually, should I put the ring on the top? No, we'll put it on there, and then we'll work on the thrusters and stuff next episode, I think. Oh, are we gonna go? Oh, maybe. There we go. Oh no, was I off this whole time? Did I make this ring entirely wrong? Oh no. I should have sized that out beforehand. Am I right on all my sizes of everything's? Oh crap. Crappity crap. Alright, well the good news is our ring is not wrong, because that's the thing we put the most work into. Bad news is this thing is wrong. Oops. So yeah, that's all got to come in one. Alright, these landing gears should be on the middle of the rack and not on the outside like it is. So we just got to rebuild the frame. That's not so bad. Okay, I think I have it ground down to the bare nubbins. Pretty much just the tank. That was really unfortunate. Yeah. So yeah, these need to be cut back, because yes, it's going to need to go there. And then the container is here and it's 5 wide. Yes. So those all need to come back one. Okay, there we go. Now the top ones, there. I'm gonna have to color code these, I think. Like we'll do a color coded end so we know which one is which. Because naming this is gonna be quite a pain. Okay, that is that. Now, we have a block here, we have a block there. You know what I need to do? I need to put a container in here real quick. Or at least mock up a container. Let's connect it. I might not be able to get to that. Do I have anywhere to attach out here? Kind of. Alright, and then this one would go here. And they still technically fit. Yes. That is how it was supposed to be. That they are in line there. Okay. Yes. So we did do our ring right. We did the inner thing wrong. But now it is correct. Alright, now we need our rotors here to connect on. So it's not quite in the middle. It's up one here. Man, I had such a nice pattern too with the crisscross and stuff. We'll have to figure out how to put the support structure in here now. That's unfortunate. It did look really good. There we go. Tiny one. Boom. Boom. Yes, that's how it's supposed to be. That's not horrible. It's not great though, because we still don't have anywhere for this guy to like cling on to. I mean, I guess we could do that. Yeah, that works. And then we just have to put a block right here. Actually, that could be a beam, couldn't it?
Low.
Alright, well this isn't too bad. I can actually look at the side of the tank here and get these guys to cling on. So that works. And I can actually reach up here with build. It's probably build info or build vision or whatever that's allowing me to reach further than vanilla. We will take it. Let's get that welded up and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, there we go. That is much better. It'll actually fit a cargo container now. Do you think we can get that off and maybe prop it up there? I think this is full of stuff, so maybe we should empty it first. Just to make sure we're not breaking anything. or losing any components. All right, could we get so lucky of just doing this? Looks like it, actually. That might not set down, though. Ooh. All right, do you think we can grab it from here and maybe get it on? Maybe. Maybe. All right. Oh yeah, we can cling on to there. Oh, we were ready to lock. Come on back. There we go. 2. Okay, we got it. All right, I'm gonna come over here to the sun side. Just because I know that I want to be able to get a screenshot with this. Things I do. Okay, I think the connector, yeah, the connector is magnetizing it. Okay, there we go. Do you think we could let it go? Do you think the magnet would be strong enough? Maybe I could increase the strength on it. Oh, settled in. I think we're good. Yay! Yeah, there we go. Okay, now, can I attach that without it breaking? That I don't know. Because can I do... Yeah, I can't do offsets on these things, which I should have done. If I add a small head here, let's add a small head to that one. Let's come up here and access the cargo. We'll access all of these rotors. Then I can do displacement, right? Yes. Alright, I'm willing to give it a try. Let's see. Attach. Okay, it didn't break. That's good. And then these guys are still yellow, which means we can lock them down. Alright, well, this episode ran away from me. It was a lot of rework to get this all done. I was hoping to get to some of the member shuttles to kind of show it off and then also kind of go over some of the rules, and I didn't get it. So we will do that next week for sure. So apologies, but I'm going to go ahead and call it an episode here. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. And Deborah's coming to kill me. I gotta get out of here.
Wake up to the dust, yeah, the sky's still red. 78 suns and he hasn't left yet. In a suit of bright orange, checking every line. Building perfection one block at a time. Move past the names on the neon signs. The community power in the Martian minds. From the heart of the peanut, the factory grows. Where the logic gets loopy and the coffee flows. We don't just build it, we over design. If it isn't complex, it's a waste of time. Watch the Hemet roll and the tardigrade fly. Climb excavator till the wells run dry. Don't check the labels, don't mind the scroll. We're checking in with Connor Toll in the control room where the typos live. He's got more subgrids than he's got to give. Engineer coffee, stay grounded. Wait, is that spelled right?